Hai, anda bersama dengan saya, Nurhana Ismail dan anda sedang menyaksikan Bisnes Alternatif. Saudara, warisan seni dan budaya merupakan identiti sesuatu bangsa. Dan tanpa warisan seni dan budaya ini, hilanglah identiti bangsa dan juga negara. Namun sayangnya, dewasa kini negara kita sudah semakin untuk mengekalkan seni dan budaya di negara kita ini sudah semakin sukar untuk mendapatkan dana dan sebagainya. Dan hari ini kita bercakap tentang cabaran untuk mendapatkan dana dan terus mengekalkan industri seni teater terutamanya di negara kita. Dan saya bersama dengan Mr. Ian Chow,
Group
Theater Manager of KLPAC. Saya kini berada di KLPAC.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for inviting us.
Thank you.
Alright. Okay. Now tell us a bit about the progress of KLPAC right now, as of now.
As of now, if you are looking at what perspective first, the funding side or the programming
challenges.
side? The challenges side, after 8 years, we are in our 8th year now, our main challenge would be the funding side. Especially why on the funding side is after the 5th year, a lot of items or the equipment, the technical side of it, start to break down. So it's time to replenish again. So hence we have an influx of the expenditure part. So I would say that is the main of our challenge at the moment. But again, if you're looking at the development in terms of, let's say, programming and academic courses, if you look at some of the report that we have published on our website,
Still active, right?
actually very active. Like we have academic courses itself, we have a surge of 275% in terms of our intake. In terms of even our programming, every year we fill up the 365 days. At least 80% of it is occupied.
Right. Ian, after the economic slowdown, I can see that a lot of funders have actually pulled back from funding KLPAC. How's that has been a struggle to you guys?
The main struggle is because in every art, a lot of the arts organization, even if you look at the worldwide, the budget that they publish, 40 to 60% actually come from sponsorship or donation from well-wishers or corporates. When we have a change of that, that means that suddenly we have a huge gap of income that is just blank.
Now, I'm sure it also affects in terms of the operational, how you guys operate. So what have you done to actually deal with the fund that is so little?
You see, when we first started, we need 2.4 million and that's the operational cost per year. But as of now, because like I mentioned, our technical equipment starting to break down, we need to replace. We are going into approximately 3 million now. But back to your question on how we actually tackle on how to bridge the gap is, firstly, we have done away with, for our own production, we used to have contracted fee with the actors and actresses. Unfortunately, we are unable to do that anymore without sponsors, so we go into a profit sharing method with them. Just to give you an example, for the first year, when we do a profit sharing, or rather a ticket sales sharing, that means that whatever we sell on that particular production, 50% straight away go to the cast, and they divide among each other, and 50% goes to KLPAC to possibly cover back the venue, the set cost, the box office, and not all those sort of items. And in the first year, we managed to save 900,000 just from that exercise, compared to a contracted fee. So that's one of the big ways that we have done in order to bridge the gap. We also done away with, we have no more overtime policy, and also we have done a lot of cost cutting. We try not to retrench staff, but we will have minimal staff force working. At the moment, believe it or not, we have only 34 staff working here. We are running on 24 hours every day, 365 days on just 34 staff members.
Well, despite all the challenges, I can see that you guys have actually come up with creative and innovative way to actually, tackle the problems. And among those, just what you've mentioned, how actually this have actually, somewhat changed the operational system and also the workers here in KLPAC.
If I tell you that we are 100% everyday happy, I'm definitely lying to you. To a certain extent, perhaps certain period of time also, the morale does drop among the staff. But what we have in us is the passion, the drive that we believe. We believe in what we do. That because from day one, we know that we want to nurture the young talent. It's for the entire but because whatever we do, we feel that it's also benefit to the entire performing art industry in Malaysia. It does affect that. So, yeah, we at times we may not be that semangat is not always there, but we still strive through.
parade goes on. The parade still goes on. Now, great things you've done so far here. Alright, baiklah. Kita akan berehat sebentar lagi. Kita akan bercakap lebih lanjut lagi tentang cabaran mendapatkan dana dan juga semula menaikkan balik industri teater di tanah air kita ini. Selepas ini di Bisnes Alternatif, jangan ke mana-mana. Bertemu kembali di Bisnes Alternatif. Sekarang saya berada di KLPAC. Kita akan bercakap tentang cabaran untuk mendapatkan dana dan melestarikan industri seni, teater dan juga seni kebudayaan di Malaysia. Saya bersama dengan Group Theater Manager of KLPAC, Ian Chow. Thank you so much. Alright, just now we talk about the challenges that KLPAC is now facing. Okay, now let's talk about the innovative ways to get funds. What are among those things that you have actually, the KLPAC have figured out, or trying to at least get funds from not just the corporate but also individuals?
You see, there's two things that we need to fundraise for. One is, of course, the operational expenditure, which we already touched on just now.
The production.
And next, yes, the production.
Obviously,
the simplest way would be to put bumps on seats, to have the audience to come forward. But that may not be the case because somehow performing arts, to attend a theatre is just always in the least priority. People are more willing to pay 10 ringgit to watch a cinema. And then to go for a theatre. Yeah. So now what we need to do is to think of more ways to engage the audience. And one of the primary that we have done that is through social media. That is the in thing. So we use social media as in terms of our publicity. And also to get funding from the individual donors, we're also thinking maybe ways of autodidact method from the bank, a monthly, just like any other NGO that has done it before. Because sometimes people want to donate, but they do not know how and where they can go to.
Yeah, how can they contribute?
Yeah, so maybe with ways like this, it's less hassle for them. It's just an autodidact, even if it's just a 10 ringgit per month. If we play with a quantity of 1,000 donors, that's a lot. So, and also we may even go into items like Kickstarter, which is the in thing at the moment, but those will be more on the production base.
Yeah, production base.
Yeah.
But not the operational costs.
Not operational costs, because
so much.
Like those items, you need to have sort of an objective. So unless they can cater to just to sustain a place, I'm not so sure how feasible is that. Right. So we may have to try different ways to target for different type of expenditure and different type of demographics even.
Right. Now, should GLCs if the GLC or corporate companies, if they were to give fund, then tax will be deducted. Okay, now how about the individuals? Because sometimes individuals, I'm sure tax will not be exempted if they are individuals. What are your views about that?
Unfortunately, at the moment, even for GLC or the corporates, it's not an auto-deduct. For tax, it's not a auto tax exempt, right. And at the moment, if I can remember correctly, it's 500,000 and above, which we need to then write in to appeal. So far, whatever KLPAC write in, the ministry has not rejected. But we wish that it could be an auto deduct, even if it's just a 10,000 donation from the corporates. It can be just automatically. Yeah. And what about it? It will be. And for the individual, there's nothing at all. I mean, like, why not? Because any other NGO.
It's not fair, right?
Exactly.
Because you want to be part of,
Yeah, and we are a non-profit organization as well. And other non-profit, they do get the tax exempt status. Why not extend it to the arts organization?
Right. Now, okay, just now, Ian, you've mentioned about people would rather go to cinema than to watch theatre. Now, how are we going to break that niche?
My personal view, from the foundation of it, I believe that there's a lot for us to be done on a great scale in terms of our education system. Like for myself, I've never heard of performing arts until I'm in the tertiary education.
So do I. Yeah, once I've entered university, then, all this, okay, go to this theatre, okay, all right.
But believe it or not, it's still happening here. When we conduct student tour, that's what the feedback that we get. They are surprised that, there's such thing as performing arts, seni, they know visual arts, but performing arts, they do not know. So I believe in a very great scale, it's the education system that perhaps, even from Sekolah Rendah, we need to introduce bit by bit, not just about debate club or drama club, but something very compulsory, or something more substantial.
Exposure not just in terms of the arts itself, but from the production,
Exactly.
And then technical wise and stuff like that.
Some schools are actually starting to do that, where they have sort of like a work experience placement, where they just place the student here for a week to just see how the day-to-day operation. I applaud those sort of effort because it can actually give some sort of awareness to the student itself. So in terms of that, yeah.
Okay. I also get to know that KLPAC also, conducted these sessions and classes, to expose our kids. Not just we do because we can't really rely on education, on our education system in schools, not just education in schools as well. So what have you done so far?
We do have our academy, the Studio Academy at KLPAC, where it's sort of like the education arm of KLPAC, where we organize short courses in performing arts, ranging from creative writing to children acting class to even adult acting class. We previously also have even classes like gamelan classes, yoga classes, those sort of things to just stir up the interest of the general public. And to give you a statistics on our student base, in 2006 when we first started it, we have like 400 over students, but by now we have tripled that amount already.
The awareness is growing.
The awareness is growing, but I wish it could be faster in some ways. Right. And can you imagine?
Once it's faster, then more fun would come. You can just sustain KLPAC, and I would want this place to sustain.
But bear in mind also, the fee that we charge is actually sort of a subsidized rate.
Right.
That they are paying. So. Yeah, why? I don't see why you can pay hundreds and hundreds of ringgit go and attend a private piano lessons, but why not consider arts?
Yeah, why not? Okay, now last but not least, Ian, your hopes and dreams for KLPAC. How are you going to sustain? Because it's also business. This industry is also business. Your hope.
I just wish that more corporates and even individuals would start to come forward.
Right.
Even if you do not donate, it's fine. Come and support the arts by watching. Right. See what we have to offer.
Oh, just watch, participate.
Yes. Give us a chance. Just look at what we have to offer.
Yep. Ian, thank you so much.
Thank you
so much.
Thank
you for inviting us here. Beautiful place. I've always loved KLPAC. Baiklah saudara, itu sahaja masa yang kita ada. Saya harapkan dengan pendahan ini sama-sama kita mendapatkan manfaat dan juga kita mengambil peluang sama-sama membantu menaikkan kembali industri teater dan seni pementasan di tanah air kita. Baiklah, sebelum saya akhir, kita lihat dahulu kod ini.